Hi, my name is Clement, and I'm a rising junior here at Gun. So my project is the Internet of Things door lock, which is basically this door lock I control with the app on my phone. So I made this project because my mom always locks the door, and I always pick up my keys, so sometimes I have to wait outside until she gets home. So here, I press the Authenticate button, which gives me a dialog to show me I have to use my fingerprint. So I press my finger on the fingerprint scanner, and then now I can use the switch to open up the door. Okay, so the way it works is that first, the Raspberry Pi has to control the lock somehow. To do this, I mounted this servo to the lock, and it's glued to the lock shaft right here. And then the Raspberry Pi, with this GPIO pins, which the servo is plugged into, sends a PWM, or pulse width modulation signal, to the servo. Pulse width modulation is basically a way for digital devices like the Raspberry Pi to control things like servos. And then I run some Python scripts on the Raspberry Pi, which send the PWM signals. The next step was to control the Raspberry Pi with my phone. To do this, I built an app in Android Studio, which is Google's official app development platform. It uses Java, so I had to use JSCH, which is a Java implementation of SSH, or Secure Shell. And Secure Shell is basically a way for computers to talk to each other over the Wi-Fi, which in this case is Rucha's phone because the Wi-Fi went down. So basically when I hit the switch, it'll send a signal to the Raspberry Pi to run the Python scripts to either open or close the lock. And in Android, you can't run network tasks in the main activity, so I had to create an async task, or asynchronous task, which basically runs something in the background and then spits back the output to the main activity. Another feature of my app is fingerprint authentication, and to do this, I implemented Google's built-in fingerprint API, and so that once I authenticate successfully, it runs an event which will enable the switch again on my app, so that I can control this, and the switch is enabled by default. So here at BlueStamp, I learned a lot about everything. So the first thing I learned about was Raspberry Pi, which I basically never used before, and also Python, which I used to create the scripts, and actually a lot about Android app development, which includes both Java and user interface stuff. I knew a little bit about Java, but nothing about user interface, so that was fresh to me. And at the beginning, I was making a lot of progress, so it was really fun. But then as I got into it, it actually became really hard and challenging. Thank you.
How was the last one?
The what?
The last one.
Well, I got lazy. Yeah, and also documentation, finding documentation was pretty hard because there's a lot of tutorials for the fingerprint API, but I couldn't really find the one that I needed specifically for my app, so I had to just mangle together some parts.
What is Python scripting? Why did you use that?
Basically, I used a library in Python called PyGPIO, which I used to run the PWM. And Python scripts basically are 2 lines and just send the PWM signals to the server.
Did you learn anything on the mechanical engineering or electric engineering or something you did?
I learned how to do soldering, right here on this PCB. And I guess mechanical engineering is hot glue.
How do they communicate?
Yeah.
Is it Wi-Fi or smartphone? How do they communicate?
Well, before I used the Wi-Fi, the school Wi-Fi, to use the SSH, but it just went down, so I'm using